All right, everyone. Welcome to Lightning Talks. Welcome to Lightning Talks at Hacker Dojo. That's where we are at. For those of you watching us live on stream, I appreciate that. So, while everyone gets settled in, welcome. All right. Welcome to Hacker Dojo. If you guys are a guest for the first time being here, or a repeat guest, please head on over to the front and print out a visitor badge, please. Thank you. All right, really quick. Are you a hacker? Raise your hand if you're a hacker. I want to just kind of fill the room out. 1 hacker, 2 hackers, 3. All right, we got 3 hackers. Do you see that? 3 hackers. We need more of you guys that are watching on the live stream to come visit us, all right? What about developers? How many developers do we have? It should be like a majority of you guys, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Great. And entrepreneur. How many entrepreneurs do we have? All right. Well, nice. Hey, man. The next unicorn is going to be out of Hacker Dojo. Watch. You guys just watch. What about hobbyists? You guys are just learning the code and stuff, just hang out. You guys are here for the free barbecue? I see that. I see you. Tiana's outside in the back. Shout out to Tiana. She's our barbecue chef of the day. Thank you. How many unicorns? Do we have a unicorn here? A couple of unicorns. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. Hacker Dojo is a community of engineers, artists, scientists, activists, entrepreneurs, and other creative people centered around a co-working social facility. We're a nonprofit organization, and without the support of members, we would cease to exist. We currently have 3 levels of membership, and you can sign up for the regular membership for $150 a month. And you can sign up at hackerdojo.org. All right, we do need volunteers. Obviously, that's a segue. This is a nonprofit, so there's a lot of volunteers. I'm a volunteer myself. If you guys would like to host Lightning Talks, please contact Tiana and volunteer. We need a lot of stuff. Please, we need volunteers. All right, donations and suggestions. We do have a suggestion board that's on the right in the back there. There's a lot of suggestions on how to improve Hacker Dojo. Check that out. There's also a donation list of items that is being requested by Hacker Dojo. If you guys have those items, please contact once again Tiana to donate those items. There's a tip jar and Venmo if you guys want to donate in that manner. All right, Mo viewers. Okay, so this is something that I did mention it last week, but I don't know if you guys caught on to that, so I'm just going to show you guys. I took a picture of it. Mo Furious. It is a telepresence robot. All right, it is currently in the back of the wall. Anybody around the world, let me make sure I'm watching the camera here. Anyone around the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, can tap into the telepresence robot and cruise around Hacker Dojo and just see who's here and just communicate with people. That's what's really cool about that. So that's the tiny URL right there, /Furious Hack. All right, upcoming events at Hacker Dojo. Saturday, we have Rust, if you guys are into Rust. And also a couple of events on Saturday, Silicon Valley Computer Programming Club and Programming Time. Sunday, we have CEO Mastermind. Okay, for those of you that are entrepreneurs, check that out on Sunday. All right, free computer tech support. That's pretty cool. So if you guys have some issues with your computer, show up that day. They'll fix your computer, any of your devices, okay? Build a Bot. That's hosted by Robot Robert. They're building an AI robot. You guys might be able to see them in the back, lab in the back. So if you guys are interested in building your own little pet that you can actually voice command, that is pretty awesome. Imagine that. Cujo, come over here. Cujo, go attack. All right, let's see. Tuesday, Python 101. Wednesday, data structures, and Python 101 again. Okay, there we go. We got some links here: Meetup, website, YouTube, Twitch, Slack, Discord, and Twitter. If you guys are interested in checking those out, we do have them in Discord. Please join the Discord and communicate with the community there. All right? And rule number 1, if I can get a volunteer just to tell me what rule number 1 is. Anyone?
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other. All right, so let's get started with Lightning Talks. Our speakers will have 5 minutes to present and give some community feedback, please. Questions are always appreciated to our speakers, all right? So our first speaker, we have Colin. Thank you. You want to come put it or just want to talk?
Yes, I do need a computer.
Hopefully I didn't make them fall asleep.
Should be okay. Wait, what happened to the USB-C one? This one's HDMI.
It's right there, right underneath. Right there.
There, here, I see it. Okay, cool.
Do the favor of take your time while you're loading up. Who wants some barbecue? Anybody gonna get some barbecue? Yeah. All right, that's about $10 a plate. Make sure you guys put it in the tip jar. Oh, there you go.
I'm Colin Fox. I'm from Noisebridge, which is a hackerspace up in San Francisco, and it is way more chaotic than this. They actually run on like an anarchist philosophy. What anarchist means, that's up to everybody. It's hard for anarchists to agree on what that means. But I'm happy to be here. So we're so anarchist that our laser cutter broke down. So thank you, Nicole, for helping us get into here. So I'm a member now for 1 month at Hacker Dojo, and you'll probably see me in here trying to make something on the laser cutter. So I know a lot of you guys do tech startups and really cool stuff, and the next unicorn's coming from here. I'm going to show you something that is not a unicorn at all. It's just a passion project that I'm doing, and I like to make drawer organizers for my house using a laser cutter. So I'm going to show you how I do that, how I do that, and what it looks like, and it probably won't take 5 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. So if you've ever used a laser cutter, I like to make nice acrylic-looking drawer organizers. And this is what I want it to look like at the end, and this is the recent one that I did. Basically, I just created a file that allows you to input your drawer dimensions over here in this table and choose your material over here in this table. So I'm going to do 4.5 millimeter extruded acrylic, and I'm going to do a medium-sized drawer. Let's call it my kitchen stove drawer right here. And I just come up and I choose my kitchen drawer, and I already have that selected, and then I generate a file, and then I wrote some code in the background that will do a couple loops and create this file. And so this is what a drawer organizer looks like in a laser cutter, except I'm missing a couple. That doesn't matter. Anyway, so this is a length divider for it, and these are some subdividers that I could use. And then I send that to the laser cutter, and if I got all my settings right, which, by the way, most of the work that I do with the laser cutter is figuring out how to make sure that this fits into this, and of course it's never as easy as it should be, but so I do a lot of test cuts to make sure that they snap together the way that I want them to snap together, and then when everything's said and done, it should look like that. And that's the one that I did a couple days ago. So very exciting, right? No. Any questions?
Did you do any hand filing or sanding to make this finished?
So this is only the second one that I've done, so short answer is I'm not sure, but so far I'm actually really impressed. I switched from cast acrylic to extruded acrylic, which helped me in a lot of ways. One, it seems to create a lot smoother cuts than the cast acrylic. It's also cheaper, by the way. And extruded acrylic also has a much more uniform thickness compared to cast acrylic, so it's been perfect for my application. But it's not very good for engraving, so apparently cast acrylic is much better for that, along with several other things. Did you have a question?
We have another question. Yeah, are you doing anything else other than things for drawers? Things or
Right now, my goal is boxes and drawer organizers, and then we'll see what where it goes from there.
So I noticed there's like perforations in the sheet.
Mm-hmm.
How much does that increase the amount of cutting time? What percentage?
Good question. Well, it also depends on the spacing that you do between it. And
For instance, that.
yeah, so for this, these laser cutters are pretty darn quick right now. So this was 15 minutes of cut time in total and the actual pegs, they only took about 8 minutes of that. No, maybe 9 minutes of that. I think with another laser cutter, I could do it a little bit quicker though. I had it set to a relatively slow speed, and I think I can speed it up by about 60 to 70% and get it down to maybe closer to 7 minutes for a cut like this.
So it's 15 including the perforations.
Yes, and the perforations took about 9 minutes of that 15. So yeah, But I think it could get faster. I think I can increase the speed quite a bit. That's just what I did for this one. Yes.
Is it challenging for a beginner to learn how long it takes to learn to do this?
Is it challenging for what?
For a beginner, I mean, I am not familiar with the laser cutter. I
Yeah.
want to learn and do how long it may take.
Oh,
How long will it take to learn how to use a laser cutter?
well, ask Nicole. Oh yeah, he just did a laser cutter today, and I think it was a 2-hour training. Is that right?
Yeah, like 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah. So 1.5 hour training to use the laser cutter, and then another 20 hours to get it just the way you want it.
Perfect. All right, Colin.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys.
Really quick, Nicole, are you going to be helping teaching how to use the laser cutter? If anybody's interested.
Yeah, so the last 2 weeks of June, I'll have a bunch of classes ready to go.
Perfect. There you go. All right, our next speaker, we have Balaji with Nerviewer. What? Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do that. AR, VR. Who's into that? Go ahead, set up. It's like a punch in Nirvana. Nervuna. Who's into AR and VR? I just want to get some feedback real quick. Just a couple people. How about you guys watching live? Can I have this one? There you go.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Balaji. In software, I have done some VR AR proof of concept. 5 years back, I got back interest recently. So when we are looking at the body scan, like X-rays and other things, it is more complicated for regular people to understand, and we a little bit scared of looking at these things. To how to make it more interesting using VR, AR, I was having inspiration I got from one of the Japanese flower exhibit. So this is one of the exhibit. They have a permanent one. It is an immersive exhibit where you walk through this, and you are as though you are in a garden, big garden, which you are walking through. So this inspired me. Why not use this for viewing the X-rays and body scans? So I got one concept using that. So the brain cell, so if you can represent the brain cell, those cells also in a immersive way, so as though we are walking through that. So that helps us to understand our own body, inner world. So the immersive experience VR, AR can help understand our body cells much better. Even if the doctor shows the X-rays, we won't understand, but we can see in a colorful way, a more artistic way if they present. Maybe we can convert the X-rays to this format so that we can use VR, AR to visualize in a more pleasing way. So this is some of the generated one though. So some brain cells, how we may look in a flowery artistic way, we can do that. And heart cells, if you see the heart cells like another way we can present that in virtual reality using Unity gaming engines, we can create 3D animations like this. So the lung cells, you can see that. That's also like more colorful to see than regular X-rays. And pancreatic cells. This is mitochondria, which is our energy production cells, which is presented. You can see a person walking through. It's a immersive technology already existing in Japan. Basically, they use for garden and flowers. but not for cells. Maybe we can use that for cells. This is immunity cells. And we can use in hospitals, the patients can look into their own body, virtual reality that helps them to understand the process and what things. Sometimes the biofeedback helps them to relax also. So these are the some of the ideas how to use VR AR to understand our own body state systems. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, we got a question over here.
Which part is real and which part is augmented on some of these drawings you have? I mean, some of the real representations of cells and there's some augmented part, like Pokemon Go has the same, you know,
Yeah, these are, I mean, a mixture of reality and the white cells are representative flowers, white blood cells. So it's a mixture of real one and imagined one, generated.
On this one, you're saying that the white ones are made up?
Yeah,
The
made up,
ones
yeah.
Are real?
Yes.
All right, have a question? All right, Balaji, thank you. Balaji was here last week, did a talk on, was it three-sided microchips, yeah?
Yeah, correct.
That was amazing. For those of you guys that didn't watch it or weren't here, it is uploaded to YouTube, so go check that out at Hacker Dojo. That was amazing. There was so much feedback. He did an amazing job on that, so hopefully he can bring that back and give us an update on that.
Sure. Here's,
All right, next, are you the next speaker?
I am.
I didn't get a name on there. It says, why Python is worth learning. No name. Yeah, Peter, welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to talk about why Python is worth learning, and the reason is because the Hacker Dojo has an intro, a beginner Python class, and an intermediate Python class running every week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So if I convince you that this is something you're interested in, whether to start as a beginner or to get better as intermediate, please come and join us. Okay, the first thing, number one, is Python is very easy to learn and easy to use. Compared to most programming languages, it's a very gentle learning slope to get involved in Python and to learn how to do basic things with it. And I'm going to show you a comparison between the same simple program written in Java and written in Python. So here on the left, I have a program that just fills a list with the names of the months and prints that list in Java, and you can see all this boilerplate. You can see how much you need to understand about the structure of the program, about the different objects and data structures. The same program in Python, it's almost English. You can just look at it, and even if you don't know how to program in Python, you understand exactly what's happening. And cartoon. Okay, reason number two, Python has more job openings than any other programming language. I was looking at Tech Republic, who looked at job openings in Indeed and LinkedIn, and they had Python as the number one, but even several other sites I looked at, every site either has it as number 1, 2, or 3. So it's definitely in the top 3 of programming languages that have lots of openings. And this year's been a rough year in tech. There have been a lot of layoffs, and having a lot of openings, it could be a good thing. Number 3, Python has a very fast coding cycle. So Python is interpreted, which means as soon as you type the code, you can run that code. Many languages like Java, like C++, have to go through a compilation phase. So every time you make a change, you have to wait for it to build your program. This means Python has very fast iteration, where you can try things out and make mistakes and see the results right away. There is a downside to this in that compilation makes the program, the computer has time to optimize the output of your program. So generally, Python is slower than something like C++ and Java. I have here, if somebody wants to try it out, our very own Ash has the website grape.codes. If you go to grape.codes right now, just choose Python, and you can go right on the screen, type Python, click on run, and see the output. So you don't need to install anything. You don't really need to do a whole lot. You could be trying Python out in 10 seconds. Number 4, Python is a very low bureaucracy programming language. It has very little boilerplate. So language like the example I showed you before with Java, there is a lot of boilerplate that you need to give it before you can run it. Python is very terse and very dense and very expressive. You need to type very little in order to see your results. And again, there are pluses and minuses to this. The plus is it's faster and easier to code in. The minus is all that boilerplate does have a purpose. In a language like Java, if you have a very large program with a large team of people working on it, that boilerplate acts as a contract between the different parts of your program so that it can catch mistakes on large teams. So Python is fantastic if you need to do something quick and you need to see the results and get it out the door. Great for MVPs. Maybe for a large program that needs to be maintained for a long time, then Python might be more effort on the back end of that. Python is also very extensible. So over the years, as programming language technology has improved and new ideas have come out, Python has kept up. So it has lambda functions, functional programming, asynchronous code. All the new concepts that have come into programming have made their way into Python. So you're not giving up the new good stuff by using Python. Number 5, Python has one of the best libraries available for all kinds of different frameworks and packages. If you want to do web development, Flask and Django are among the best. It's the only practical choice for data science, AI, and machine learning with libraries like Pandas, NumPy, and TensorFlow, and PyTorch. There is no other language that really you can get production level code for machine learning. It's fantastic as a glue language. If you're automating things to run on your systems, Python is great for taking other systems and calling them as APIs and gluing them together. It's also great for games. There are many libraries like Pygame that'll let you develop games in Python. And the same caveats apply. Very easy to get started, very easy to get something up and running, not the fastest programming language in the world. Number 6. Python, and this is getting into a description of what Python looks like, Python is dynamically typed. What that means is you don't need to tell it what type of data is going to go into your variables. So I have an example here where you set a variable equal to a number, equal to a string, equal to a list, and even the elements of that list can all be different types, or equal to a dictionary, which is like a mini database with key value pairs in it. All these things can be assigned to a variable, and then the variable can be assigned to a different type later in the same run of the program. That makes it very easy. You don't need to plan ahead as much. You can just start coding. Again, there's a downside. The downside is the compiler can help you catch bugs if it knows strictly what the type of everything is. It can say, over here in this module, you said I was going to get an integer, and then over here in this other one, you're assigning it to a string, and that's probably not what you meant. So you do lose that, although Python does have optional ways to get around that as well. All right, and then I'm closing with, if you're interested, come join us, learn Python. The classes are free, and I'll leave you with this cartoon.
Perfect, Peter. Question. Thank you. How much is it? I mean, Hacker Dojo's got to charge something, right?
Join us, become a member, become part of the community. But no, the classes are free.
Here's another question.
Where are we at on the IDEs with Python these days? I mean, they just have Wing IDE, then Anaconda, which are more advanced, and then there's VS Code.
Yeah, there's some great IDs out there. VS Code is great and has plugins to make it understand Python really well. So most people just use VS Code. What's it called? PyCharm from IntelliJ is probably the best Python development environment.
Where's the momentum right now? VS Code is gaining momentum over some of these.
VS Code is gaining momentum, yeah. It's the best.
Anaconda and some of the others.
Yeah, yeah. There's also a different style of programming. Things like PyCharm and VS Code are traditional IDEs that will do things like linting and checking your code and building it for you. But there's also notebooks, Jupyter Notebooks, which is a different style of programming where you write code and it shows you the results in line with your code. And it's some people find that a very expressive way to code.
Well, VS Code is pretty good.
Yeah, it's great. VS Code's great.
Another question right here in the front. Give me a second here.
Hi, okay, thanks. So Python's used a lot for artificial intelligence. You have a slide that talks about that. A lot of AI work is done on GPUs. How easy is it to do Python programming for GPUs? What do you have to change or set up that stuff?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of it. These libraries like TensorFlow and PyTorch, they're built to work with Python, but the libraries themselves are written in faster languages that send most of the work down to the GPU. So you're coding in Python, which is very easy to use, but the hard work that needs really fast CPUs is being sent down to the GPU for you.
So it's invisible to us.
It's invisible to you, yeah.
All right, thank you, Peter. Once again, thank you for the Python introduction.
Thank you.
All right, next speaker we have Julat, portable electric car charger.
Thank you very much.
What is that all about? Anybody want to take a guess? Portable electric car charger. We're about to find out. Yeah, portable.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Vlad. I'm software engineer. Now do hardware. 1 year ago, I decided to start startup, which I'm very interested. I do research not only in software. I do research in magnetic research. And yeah, I do research with magnetic fields and yes, all this stuff. So I decided to start. What I did, I created a small, large device which you can put inside your electric car, and it can provide charge during 1 week, 24 hours a day. And so let me just demonstrate. So this device currently providing 150 watts of power constantly, and this is a little bit old prototype. So now I'm working on smaller device and more efficient version yet. So my goal is provide renewable source of energy for electric cars and to build our future, like in movie, you know. I truly believe in what I do, and I believe in our future, future of light. Yes.
All right, we got some questions over. Dylan, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we got a question in regards to portable electric car charger. Here you go.
Okay, so, what do? You plug it into your own home to drive it to, I mean, how is it different from charging your electric car otherwise?
Yes, currently we have portable just charging station. You need to drive, it's taking time. You need to wait. You need to wait while it will charge at least 30 minutes, like fast charge. So I just thought about alternative way, and this field is not like truly researched.
Is it a battery?
No, it's a propulsion system.
How does it, where does it get its energy?
It's taking energy and producing more energy. It's not free energy, but it can provide charge during 7 days.
You've heard of the law of conservation of energy? I mean, is your background in physics?
My background came not from electric field. I'm just interested in magnetic, in resonance, and I'm just passionate about it. And I do experiments, and I.
Would you consider it a perpetual motion machine?
Yes, it is start of propulsion motion machine.
Perpetual motion machine.
Yeah, and I know it's a lot of thermodynamics, like a lot of law, but I just don't believe that it's true. Like I believe just in fact, like I believe in balance of energy. I believe like
that right now there's something spinning in there, right?
Yeah.
And there's lights going on. Now, how is it getting its energy right there and there? Is it plugged in?
What?
Is it plugged in, that kind of?
Yeah, it's using supercups, and it's using energy and returning energy, and yeah.
Thank you a lot. Anybody else that has questions can talk to them afterwards. Thank you. All right, next we have Jorge.
Yeah.
Code authoring with ChatGPT.
Yes.
Is that what's going on?
That's right.
Really quick, raise your hand if you know what ChatGPT is. It should be everybody in the room. Yeah? ChatGPT. You guys know what ChatGPT is? Ah.
Okay. Well, yesterday we have a very good session here in the Hacker Dojo about where the ideas come from. And that was a fantastic discussion that we have about looking for how things can be done. And I am building some application that is how to help people to learn from create the vision, how they go into the level of delivery, going from vision to problem to ideas. And I say I want to build a peer-to-peer support system. And the peer-to-peer support system, what means is you get a group of people that is on the left-hand side, and everybody give you some feedback about that. And that happens, and people in the group start to challenge you, and they challenge me, say, hey, why you need to do peer-to-peer when you have a ChatGPT on your hands? Oh boy, that really made me a very, very hard question. Say, what that means that? Say, why you don't create something that allow you to work a session with the ChatGPT in the way that you start generating, okay, here. All your questions say, I want to enhance the entrepreneur education and bridge, and that question within Notion, you can run ChatGPT integrated. And I ask the question and generate me, okay, the same points that I was using before, introduction, problem, solution, conclusion, start to follow and generate me some ideas. And I start to play that instead of having a peer-to-peer conversation in a group, try to follow the full sequence of activities that I need to do to have a problem, create ideas, from ideas, how to build that product. And I really surprised, and I was able to say, okay, I need to get some information and some message that I need to post in my social media. And I asked to ChatGPT, give me about these subjects, these kind of things, and generate it. That's feasible? I don't know. I am very curious if I really can go, because my target is if I want to train a person to do a project from 0 to having in a product in 90 days. Maybe with ChatGPT, we can do that in overnight. And that is challenging us how to do things. One of the points I was surprised, and I say, okay, give me a list of messages, and doing that kind of applications. And from the applications, we jump into this idea that really was quite interesting. And Hans Marais, and is one of the members, and he was the guy that challenged me, showed me this prompt that he was working about that. And really, that was the thing that made me crazy and say, hey, how are you doing? He said, that's the prompt. Say, assuming the person Clark is a model of the person, and give some standings that you can do some things and you cannot do some things, and say, to respond, you need to follow these steps. That's still part of the prompt. And say, okay, break down the prompt into sections, offer alternative interpretation for each section where applicable, present your choice of interpretations. That means after you select a set of interpretations, ChatGPT by itself decide which one of them. That means it's a full interactive way that it generates some information, and that information is going to give me all the list of things. I am running out of time, and I say, okay, that is the result that I have it. Here, you say breaking down the prompts, start to break down the prompts. That is the answer provided by ChatGPT. Then give me alternate interpretations. It could be 2 interpretations. ChatGPT choose one of them, define a strategy of 2 points, generate the potential disagreements between experts, and say, okay, use some experts. You can define experts that can be, you can provide some reference using some trends in the technology, modify the strategy, execute these things, get the subdomains that can be used for my questions, evaluate which subdomain should be used, make the expert review, and that expert review generate a final answer into a very simple thing. That, for me, I don't believe it is still being hesitating. It is true, this thing? I don't know. But instead of doing peer-to-peer, having people around, maybe we're going to do everything with ChatGPT. Thank you.
Wow, that's so crazy. ChatGPT. Thank you, Jorge. Anybody have questions? No? We're good? All right. So really quick, shout out to John and Larry for watching us on the live stream. We appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys share the link. All right, our next speaker we have is Web3, what? Games. Web3 games are the future by Anonymous. We are Anonymous. Who is that? Do we have any speakers coming up? Yeah. Oh.
That's right.
What's his name? Mohammed. Welcome, Mohammed. Is it your first time here? It's the first time I see you here.
My third time.
Third time? All right, welcome. Go ahead.
How do I play?
Go up here. All right, first that's going to cost you 2 tacos. And what do you bring it on over? HDMI?
Yeah.
There we go. Just plug it and you're good to go.
Thank you very much. So, thank you. I'm gonna present you my startup, which is like Web3 mobile game marketplace. So what I'm trying to build basically is a single entry point to all the metaverses when it comes to mobile, like Web3 mobile games. The way to do it is to solve some issues regarding Web3 mobile games. So these are the most fundamental issues. So the first one is that there are not a lot of users when it comes to Web3 mobile games. It's a relatively small niche with few actors, but it is starting to develop in a high pace. So I'm trying to be a little bit ahead of the curve, but definitely these Web3 mobile games have very important aspects to them that are unique and that add value over Web2 games. So sooner or later, everything will be blockchain based. The only reason why it's not the case right now is because there is not a lot of there's not a lot of games and there's not a lot of actors who are trying to consolidate all of these games all together to create this team for Web3 mobile games. So a lot of people use Google to search for their games. There's not enough information regarding the diversity of Web3 mobile games. We don't find easy ways to kind of connect to these games without choosing a lot of things regarding the Web3 ecosystem, whereas it is third-party actors like Binance, Coinbase, OpenSea, like wallets, multi-chain wallets. So there's a lot of friction points all over the place, and because there's a lot of friction points all over the place, it makes it very difficult for Web2 users to adopt these games without engaging with the blockchain ecosystem in the first place. That's the reason why I'm trying to monetize the time players play these Web3 mobile games by making it as accessible as possible. In the current landscape. So there's three fundamentals takeaways from these solutions. The first one is that I'm trying to make money basically by trading digital assets within these Web3 games. The second fundamental aspect is I'm trying to save time for the first approach. Like the first entry point should be as easy, as simple, and as direct as possible by having only one account, non-custodial wallet, which means like basically your email address, and connect directly, start paying from the first minute, start making money from the first minute, start enjoying yourself from the first minute. So I'm trying to remove all of these layers basically. Third point is that I'm also trying to promote all the Web3 ecosystem through this platform. So what I'm trying to do is not only to make it very accessible to everybody basically to play this game, but also to make everybody basically engage in the blockchain ecosystem, but through gaming, which is a very passive process. So this is my MVPs, a database for all the Web3 games that are coming. This is my strategy. So I will create the company, then I'll start adding the games. This is the competitive advantage. It's like 6 points. It's like we put only Web3 products. We have no wallet, no third-party actors. We select the best games for the best profile, and we can add every new coins and every new game into the platform. In terms of competition, we are the only actor so far that I've seen, at least, who is very specialized in Web3 game and in mobile. There are a lot of actors, but not in this specific niche. This is the last slide. It's just a quick view over the market. So it's 1 trillion market cap in 2030. Crypto is also a huge market, and NFTs like 200 billion, which is enormous. So we will try to attract as many NFT markets as possible within this space. Thank you very much.
All right, that was Mohammed talking about Web3 games. All right, we do have some questions here. Web3 games, wow. The second one I walked in. Oh, I can smell the barbecue. It smells so good.
So one of my concerns whenever I play a game or do something in the Web3 space is that I want to be able to trust whoever is making that software. So I want to be able to trust that they're not going to scam me in some way, or like I'm going to play this game a bunch and then they're going to end up stealing all my game codes or something. So
Yeah.
are you planning to make to prioritize that, like the safety?
Yeah, so there are different levels of answers to your question. The first level is to say I'm focusing only on not play to earn, but play and earn, which means like basically, unless you really want to engage in the game, which is 1% of the population within a game, you don't need to pay basically. So it's free, you only make money. I can go more in details if you have questions in the business model, but yeah, basically I'm focusing on place in which you build things. So you never lose money, whatever happens. Then there is the second layer of the question, which is, well, we put primary and secondary NFT marketplace within the game and we secure everything. So everything is on us. Once you create value within the game and you start selling whatever you have attracted within the game, you start selling it without, putting any kind of effort, because you are doing it within this platform and everything is seamless. And if whatever happens, it's on us, not on you. This is the 2 points that answered your question, I guess.
All right, that's Mohammed. And the website is Selenest?
Yes.
Selenest.com. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, last we have a macro crypto. Originally, it was in Anon, right? Anonymous. But I tracked down his IP address and found out that it's Sviv. That's going to be our speaker today.
Thanks.
Let's see where the Bitcoin chart's going.
Yep.
Giving you a fresh weekly update.
Sorry. Interesting. Let me fix it for, I think, yes, here we go. So today,
use the microphone, I can't hear you. What?
Apologies. Today, usual graphs. First positive graph, which means what happened on the positive side on the macro in crypto the past week, and second going to be negative graph. Actually, that week, it didn't happen too much on the positive side. So I was forced to choose the best I can, which is retail sales in the United States rose 0.4% during April, which is not so much unusual if you check the history of that increases. Again, it's monthly. You see these big fluctuation, like earthquake in 2020, but usually it's no more than under 2 or 1%. However, it's probably remarkable that we experienced a very sharp drawback during approximately February, January. Then we got a flat line in the retail sales, then slight uptick. In terms of details, so we can see that basically vehicles bit up, and building materials and so on, so nothing particularly remarkable, except generally retailers goes 3.6%. Again, it doesn't mean much, it doesn't mean economy is recovering, it's just probably because I will maybe even seasonal factor, people start to buy more before vacations or something else. So sorry, not vacations, before the summer. On the negative side, there we got more substantial developments, and that's about the New York State Manufacturing Index. This index is issued by Federal Reserve Board, and it measures the state of the economy in the New York State. It doesn't necessarily reflect on the totality of the economy. However, that measure is more or less a predictor of the recession. We can see, for example, in 2000, we got all these ticks down almost 6 months before we got in this 2001 recession. The same we see here. However, again, the volatility is higher. So that's why it's not like definite sign of the upcoming recession, but it's definitely not good to have such a big drop down. Usually it's no more than probably 10, 20 points. So that's it for today, and except I just briefly show where we're going with NASDAQ. With NASDAQ, we're still on a rise because of the mostly technical factors, as many people, including myself, I think about that. It's just because big players sitting on so much liquidity that they don't have too much to go, so they cannot buy United States Treasury because it's basically not the best way for like variety of reasons. I will touch, we'll talk a bit later. And on NASDAQ, we still like precisely as predicted going down, and I estimate probably to here. That's a little bit unusual to have this diversion between NASDAQ and Bitcoin. I think it relates to we don't have retails jumping, so we have like corporates buying, and then boom, they reached very strong support lines. Some of them sell, so we don't have anyone stepping in. So that's why we're kind of aging now, but not significantly. Now, I have 1 minute to address the question which I was asked before the meeting, before that session. It's about what happened if United States government, in Congress they didn't agree, they do not agree on that sale. So people all over the media saying, oh my God, it's going to be catastrophe. It's not going to be catastrophe. Of course, it will cause some stock market turmoil, and I mean, there's 2 events here. First is that ceiling, they don't agree in the Congress, but second is default itself. And that's completely two separate events, because the United States government, they can do 2 things. First of all, they can go to their reserve and start paying the existing debt from the money they already have. Second, they get so-called accounting techniques in cash management, which is the trickiest thing to say, that they can kind of ask their kind of counterparty to delay or to make some arrangements in terms of the internal books, for example, going from, say, they got to pay to pensioner, and they kind of reverted to in books, because there is a delayed payment. So that's basically it for today. Any questions?
Is Bitcoin going down in price, or is it going up? That's what I want to know. I am Blockchain John, after all, so I want to know.
I showed you that's range. This week was a sidewise, so no good, not too good, not too bad.
Call me when it goes down, so I can stack sats.
Yeah.
Question?
You were talking about accounting games that they could play to keep from default, but I had read that actually we hit the debt ceiling in January, and they've been playing those games ever since then. And we're getting to a break point here at the beginning of June, is what my understanding is. Would you agree with that or not?
Well, I don't have enough details to comment on that. It's possible, but because all these government transactions are usually under the very detailed scrutiny from many parties, so it's not particularly likely that they did anything nefarious. Maybe something going on because they were preparing for that, but again, there are 2 events. First is political, and second is financial. And we are so far away from any financial so-called disaster because I'm sure the United States government has more than enough reserve to at least delay it for several months. Well, I mean, delay the default, because with default, when someone come to you and say, oh, I give you the loan, where's my payment? The United States government says, I don't have money. That event will be catastrophic in terms of rating and everything, but we still have like a lot of time before that.
Perfect. Thank you for our weekly update on macro and crypto. I do appreciate that, man. I like the way you come every single week and give us a fresh update on that.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, for the viewers out there, make sure you hit that subscribe button for every Friday we're doing Lightning Talks. Or if you're around the area, come join us, all right? Hacker Dojo. All right, really quick, for those of you guys that are here, who said this quote? If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Thank you. You got it. This man right here. We'll go test that. Thank you guys all for joining me in Lightning Talks. Afterwards, we do have some barbecue, so enjoy. With that said, until next week, make sure you hit that button. Subscribe. Bye-bye. Make sure to volunteer. We need some volunteers. We need volunteers, please.
What do you volunteer to do? What?
Volunteer. We need lots of volunteers. I'm assuming that I just hit the button stop streaming. This is not my thing. I don't know. I don't want to destroy this computer. I just hit the button, right? Stop streaming?
Yeah.
I know if I just hit that one button, everything's just going to blow up on me.
You hit it real hard.
No. I did hit the transition button.
All right.
Yeah, we did it.
Charles has been out sick, so if you would have ordered it already, it would not have happened. I'm very tempted to set the phone in and see if we can plays.
I'm here. Go ahead. Yeah.
Discord. But, you know, what I need is to get with somebody who can show me more about how to use Discord, because I can never find the mention of me in Discord. Huh?
Okay, sure. Absolutely.
Discord is such a mess. Slack's the same. It's
That's social media in general.
Every channel scrolling full speed.
Yeah.
Typical social media
channels.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
We use Slack at work, and people coordinate information by throwing something to Slack, and if I'm not there looking, it just scrolls off the top of the screen. I don't love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so John, you like that? I wrote it up this afternoon. I did not practice it. I let me do it with 2 seconds remaining.
That's great. I love it. That's perfect.
Shares good.
I looked up in the clock. Good time.